Side, Windows, and then just, I don't know. You can interact with people without any fear of caching. And so the Windows on one side, Windows, and then just, I don't know. You can interact with people without any fear of caching.
A new fresh day. Winter potatoes, now online.
I have the candle. Really bad.
Now online.
I have the candle. Really bad.
Now online.
Like I hear a lot of that type of stuff. Like for instance, in Dark Souls, there's a lot of inspiration from like Berserk. From the anime Berserk, there's influences from all types of other media, and they put it into the game.
Dude, I need to watch Berserk. I hear about that like way too much. I'm sure you're one of the people actually, especially that tells me.
Yeah, I've watched the old version and the new version.
Doesn't it have a weird ending or something?
Oh, does it? Does it have a weird ending?
Okay, all right. This is definitely.
Does it have a weird ending? It goes berserk at the ending, pun intended. What is up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood Podcast, episode number 30. 30?
It's not
42.
No, you messed up. For once, you messed up.
42.
It's not 30. Hell yeah. Dude,
42.
so what happened the last 3 weeks? You thought it was the 30 again. You were just knocked out, unconscious. It wasn't the real Matt Visual on the previous few podcasts. It was an imposter. It was actually me doing an impression of your voice.
It was
very
the dark
convincing,
clone.
I might say.
The dark clone Matt Visual. And I defeated him in a boss battle just now. Yep.
I always like fighting games where there's like dark versions of all the characters, and you get to kick their ass.
Yeah, a couple games I've played recently had that in there, and I was like, yes, so good. And the boss battles are always hard because they can do the same thing as you can. That happened in Transistor, and also was in Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
I'm sorry, what was that? Say that again.
Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. I've just been watching.
What the hell is that?
The two best friends play it, and it's just RPG in the universe of Space Jam. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous and good. It's funny to watch.
What does Gaiden mean? I always forget.
I don't
like
know.
Ninja Gaiden. What is a Gaiden?
I don't know. I don't know.
But it's in the name.
Right now. I have to look it
Gaiden
up.
is a Japanese language word meaning side story or tale.
There you go.
Used to refer to an anecdote or supplementary biography of a person.
I feel like I've looked that up before. Pretty sure
I always look up Japanese stuff. What did I learn about the other day? It was the Japanese way of saying stupid foreigner. It's like baka gaigan or something. Anyway, it's like one of those sort of weeaboo things that people always say to me.
So another song has been put in the collection of the VisualWood remixes.
Oh, dude.
This one is pretty good. I'm like, okay, some of these guys, they really have some talent here. I'm like, what? It's random, like just random sayings. Like we go from like me saying I already forgot what I say. I say a lot.
You're talking about how I was away from the podcast at one point.
Yeah, and then
I'm talking about how I have a candle.
Yes,
that's what the new one's called.
I have a candle.
I've got to say, I've got to point it out.
Yeah.
I think my singing bits are better than your singing bits. What do you think about that? Let's lay it on the line. What do you think? It's true, isn't it?
Maybe.
It is true. You know it to be true.
Maybe.
Oh,
I'm like
man.
the beat, and you're like the lead singer. I'm like the instruments.
Yeah, that needs to be swapped up. I wonder, should I just like beatbox a bit on the podcast? Boom.
Yeah, but he's
There you
using
go,
words. So I'm like the bass line, and you're like the treble. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're
Well,
one.
maybe a little bit controversial.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this was their best work. I've just got to say it. I really don't.
What do you mean?
I preferred the first remix. I mean, this is great, but I
They're
preferred the first
different
remix.
people.
But they're in the same playlist. Are they different people completely?
I'm pretty sure they're different people. What do you mean the same playlist? It's a different...
Well, when I watched the video, so do you want to explain to people? I'll look for it while you explain to people what happened.
What? We had a first remix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one was like, "What is up, guys?" No. I had it in the beginning. I
You're not
probably
the
will
Raven.
have it in the beginning of this podcast as well because why not? So people know what we're talking about. And then there's this one by a total different guy, which I think was he's a musician as well.
No. I'm here now. It's a guy on YouTube called Burning Sticks, and he did both.
He did both, really?
Either he did both or he took the original one and rehosted it. But the first one, can I just say, the first one's got 5k views on it, which is pretty awesome.
Right.
But yeah, he did. You're Not the Raven 4 months ago, and then 3 days ago, I Have a Candle was released, the newest track. I do wonder what goes through this guy's head when he makes these. Like,
Well,
how do you pick?
I know the last one was like basically all of the last podcast. Pretty much all from the last podcast. We talked about the candle. We talked about the butt clenching thing, which he put in there. And I definitely think it was from the last podcast, and he just took it and remixed it up. But I really do think when people are making these songs, that is whatever they're watching at the time. So maybe he went back and watched all the Raven, and then he saw that clip, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I got to make a song." And then he just...
Do you want perhaps a dramatic reading of the lyrics of this most recent one?
All right, do it.
Oh, and so the windows on my side, windows. And then I just don't know. I don't know. You can interact with people without any fear of catching it. A new fresh day, wooden potatoes not online. I have a candle. Really bad. All that tense stuff from my booty's gonna be up all tight. Yeah, I'd burb on the maybe not ma moo, probably not. X, couple of times, maybe 4. A new fresh day, wooden potatoes not online. I have a candle. And some of it's repeated, but that's the lyrics of the song. It's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10.
I do wonder with stuff like this, I've got to be honest, like, it sounds really cool and I really like it, but then I wonder how much effort went into it, and do you sort of feel like if not much effort goes into something, it can at the same time be like, you don't need much talent to do it? Like, that's what I'm saying here. I'm wondering how much talent is actually in a production like this. How easy is it to make a track that sounds vaguely musical? Because you wrote music, right? You did this kind of thing for a while, so what's your, like... Is it surprisingly easy?
I didn't write music or anything like that, but I did play the drums and a little bit of the piano as well.
Well, what about your old tracks you used to do? Some of your earliest...
Oh, my music. Well, see, for that...
There you go.
So, yeah. I totally forgot about those. I totally forgot. It's been so long since I've touched it. I use a program. I love music, so I like to find music with clips. So there was a bunch of loops, clips... from all sorts of there's different packs, there you have like R&B loops and tracks, and then you have some hip hop stuff, then you have a movie score track, and I would take a little bit of everything of all genres and put it into one track and make these tracks, and it's
how hard was that to do? Like, how similar is what you were doing to what this guy's doing, would you say?
I don't know if he's using, already recorded tracks or not. I don't know if he made the music himself, because I know someone, like, this guy made the music for, you remember, the Karma, Guild Wars 2 versus other MMOs, the Karma, that little track that kind of sounds like the Mac versus PC music in the background.
Okay, I think
he went into, he got his microphone and he made the music, just in the bathroom. So it's entirely easy to make your own loops, put it in, and arrange it exactly how you want it.
See, I played a Flash game a while ago, and the Flash game was basically this really simple like music maker, and there'd be a bunch of guys like stood in a certain area. I think maybe it was just on the UI, and if you moused over one guy, he'd go like, and you'd be like, okay, cool, I like that. You pick that guy, and then you find the second guy, and one of them's like going, and you're like, yeah, I like that guy, and you click him, and it just starts layering on top of each other, and it makes you feel like a musical genius by the end. I spent so long on that, just clicking these different guys that were making different voices with their mouths.
I think I played that. Yeah,
it's so good, dude. It's so good.
Like a long time ago, I remember there was another one as well where I think you sent me this one where you click these boxes in this flash thing. Yeah, you remember that? And it would just make these musical sounds, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And sometimes you would click certain ones that didn't sound well, and you just click it off and just click another one. And there's like over 100 boxes that you can click that just makes these sounds because it's like going in a time sequence throughout the whole like set of boxes, if that makes any sense. And
no way is that going to make sense to anyone. It's so weird though. It was like the grid was there, and if you filled the whole grid up, it would just make one continuous note or something, wouldn't it? It would be like, beep, and then you drop one off and it's like, beep, and then you keep dropping them off and it makes all these cool noises. Yeah, man, that was good stuff.
Good stuff.
How did we get here? Oh yeah, the fan remix.
Yeah. So you burn your house down. So let's talk about that.
So I'm in
now. Are you homeless? Have you?
I'm in a shelter. This only happened a little while ago, and this is sort of my therapy for getting over it.
Okay.
Just having a chat with you.
So you cleared this with your therapist, or are you like locked in
You're
a
my
room
therapist.
while they
What are you
bang?
talking about? You told me you were my therapist the first time we met.
Really?
Yeah, I've this entire time I've been under the impression that you're giving me like the help that I need.
Okay,
so here's the story. It's really embarrassing, actually, really embarrassing, and it makes me feel like a man-child, and it kind of worries me. So for lunch, and I hate that it was this. What do you think I had for lunch?
Pizza.
Guess. Pizza. Okay, all right. It was a mini pizza. All right. I just had a little one of those little snackable pizzas. All right. That's not the point of the story. Okay. So I had a pizza for lunch. I threw it in the oven.
Oh.
Left. Came back up here. I did some stuff. Came back down about 20 minutes later. What had happened? It was fine. It was, I opened it up. Oh, look, that pizza looks really good. Okay. Pull it out of the tray, get it on a plate, cut it up, put a little bit of ketchup on it. And then
ketchup
it comes
on
time.
Pizza?
Yeah, I just a little bit, because it's already got like a tomato base on it, so you don't really need much, but just a little bit. I kind of like.
You don't need any.
Yeah, it enhances it. All right, it does enhance it. So, and I agree, it's kind of a trashy thing to do. But all right, so now what do? Well, I got my pizza with me. I want to go upstairs, right? But you don't leave the oven on. So, first of all, the kitchen does not have much table space at all. So when there's a lot of washing being done, when we've got like a bunch of posting, things tend to overflow everywhere. So the surface top of the oven, where the hobs are, tends to have a lot of clutter on it. Today, there was a lot of clutter on it. Clothes. A lot of washed up, folded after being ironed clothes. And so I go to turn the oven off. And as I turn the oven off on the dial, I think to myself, there's a lot of stuff on the top of there. Make sure you've got the right dial. It's a new oven, that's a little bit of an excuse here. It's a new oven, so I'm like, just make sure you got the right one. And how easy is it, right? To just turn one knob. Okay, that's fine. And I remember thinking, for the briefest moment in my head, make sure you don't touch a hob. Obviously, that would be really stupid. And I also remember thinking to myself, there's no way I would have touched a hob. It's fine. So I just turn the oven off, go upstairs, eating my pizza, enjoying myself. About 15 minutes later, my younger brother, who has moved out and has just come to visit for today, starts screaming my name. I run downstairs and there's just smoke and crap absolutely everywhere. Turns out that apparently, I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know. It's like I was possessed or something. That moment where I thought, make sure you don't turn a hob on. I must have turned a hob on. I don't know. And so we literally had like a bit of a fire situation going on. And the scary thing about it is, okay, if no one else was in the house at that time, that would have been really bad. Like, really bad. There was already a lot of smoke. Potatoes? Maybe. Well, certainly I wouldn't be recording this with you right now. Certainly, it would have been the fire brigade come in and everything. Like, and so it's one of those. Has that ever happened to you? Like, come on, throw me a bone here. Have you ever, like, this is one of those really typical, like, blonde,
when I
stupid
think
things.
I'm gonna be doing, when I think I do something and I don't do it, or do something and I do it.
No, just what kind of person does what I did today?
Well,
What kind of idiot does that?
See, the thing is, sometimes you have the brain farts, though. Sometimes you have the brain farts. I have brain farts all the time, but
Yeah, but that literally, this puts me in the...
sometimes you have it with something that's really important.
Dude, I'm now in the camp of people that would have burned their own house down. Like, that's not good. Like, it's embarrassing and it's weird, and I don't know. I'm a bit weirded out. I really am, because I don't know what possessed me. Just like, how stupid do you have to be to turn the wrong knob?
Hey,
I don't know.
Dude, maybe you were just thinking about, like, oh man, I just can't wait to talk to Matt Visual in the podcast.
I'm more like I couldn't wait to eat that pizza. I'm sure it just blinded me.
With some
I
ketchup
gotta
on
get
it.
upstairs.
You just turned the knob. You just turned whatever. Trust me, mistakes happen, man. Trust me, it just happens. As long as you don't just constantly do that. What got burnt? Like, whose clothes?
Okay, so no. No clothes actually got burnt. We had like a So you got like kitchen roll, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know what kitchen roll is. We have a thing that holds kitchen roll on it, and it has a wooden base. And so that was on one of the hobs, the hob that I turned on. So it was this wooden base that ended up catching on fire, and it had like a sort of a plasticky finish over it as well. So it reeked of plastic. Anyway, this was fully on fire, and the flames were like almost at the point, I guess, where they could have been licking the clothes next to them. So we literally just grabbed that and threw it out in the garden, and then it was okay. But, you know, a few minutes later, certainly I would not have noticed that for a long time. I couldn't smell anything, I couldn't hear anything, I didn't know anything was going on. I was just up here doing whatever, working on that map.
Any damage to the kitchen at all?
No, well, there was like wood and charcoal, whatever, burned onto one of the hobs, but we managed to scrape it off, so it's fine.
So your parents won't come home and be like, what the hell happened?
No.
Come down right now.
There was no lasting damage, but I don't know. It's shaking me. It's weird. It's like people who get drunk or sleepwalk. Maybe sleepwalking is really good because they just do something completely unfathomable that they just can't imagine why they ever would, and it makes you feel like you're not in control. You know, that's serious stuff. That is serious stuff. Serious moment of the podcast.
There we go. Serious. Does your mom know that you do like YouTube? Is it one of those situations where you've told her before and she's like, I don't even know like what that is, and doesn't really care?
Well, yeah, no. I it's one of those weird things. I guess a lot of people in my family sort of know what I do, but they don't. I don't care to explain it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, yeah. I think it's enough to know that it brings in enough money to live on, so that's fine.
Right, that's all they care about, really. They care about that.
Yeah,
that
that's kind of sad,
you
isn't
paying
it?
rent
Right?
this month? Okay.
Yeah, as long as you're paying the rent, it's totally fine. So do you want to move on to the audio adventure?
Oh, I am ready. I am so ready right now.
So, I warn you. Okay, I don't warn you. I don't. What? What does that mean?
What?
You were snorting. What was that about?
No, nothing.
Oh, just because you were doing the porn voice. Cameo appearance, guest appearance of an old actor on the podcast, Mr. Porn Voice. Hasn't been heard since like episode 20 or so. Now he's back. Alright, so listen, audio adventure every week. Matt sends me a audio clip, or I send him an audio clip. It's of something we do, generally in our daily routine or weekly routine or whatever. And the other person has to guess what it was. You could admit, last week I was pretty good, right?
Yeah, you're pretty good. Hopefully, you have mercy on me this week.
So this week I do have mercy on you. This week, the one I've done is really easy. I was hoping it would be harder, but something was much louder than it was supposed to be, and so now it's much easier. So, I'm doing like a double thing, okay? Number one, you're going to guess what it is pretty much instantly, but then you have to guess what specifically it is. Now, that might not make sense to you, but listen, and it all will, okay?
Watch I don't guess the first one, alright?
Okay, I'm sending you the file. You will guess it. There's no way any... Alright, I as well, so the people listening to this at home, right? If you listen to this and you don't get what it is, please leave a comment and explain what you were thinking it was, because I just cannot understand how someone wouldn't get what it is.
Hey, don't beef it up now. Don't beef it up, and then if I don't get it,
you won't get it. I guess you need to know a little bit about me to find it stupidly easy, but I think most people listen to the podcast will know that little bit about me, so it should be fine. Are you you a little bit nervous now?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, of course the pressure is on right now. I'm waiting for this thing to...
Do you have a good idea for my challenge next week, by the way?
No, depending on how hard this one is.
What do you mean? What? No, it's... I guess it is a competition, actually. Are we keeping score?
No, it's not really a competition. Yeah, we could keep score, but it's not really a competition. It's just a score.
No, let's not keep score. We'll let the viewers keep score.
Okay.
I think that the viewers will find so far I'm up 2-0.
All right, I am going to listen to it now.
All right, my guess is the previous recording cut out, so you got another shot here, all right? This could be very, very easy, but we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
So,
you're clearly walking your dog.
all right, boom, number one. Okay, this is the point where the people who didn't know that leave their comments and bow their heads in shame. All right, yes. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? I'm walking my dog. Yeah, the birds. By the way, beautiful summer's day when I did that. Absolutely amazing. Okay. So now the question is, what specifically was I doing while walking the dog?
Okay, I don't think he was on a leash, was he? Was he on a leash?
Oh, I don't know whether I can answer that. I don't know.
What do you mean? Was he on a leash or not? I don't think he was.
You get guesses. There's no more. The information is there.
Okay. Well,
and by the way, this is
think
very
you were
fair.
playing with him.
Okay, how was I playing with him?
Wow. The easy game to play would be fetch, right?
Okay. All right. So how? All right. Yeah, I was playing fetch. Fine. Do you want to guess what I was throwing for him?
Okay, so it could be a ball or a frisbee.
A frisbee?
Yeah, you don't know what a frisbee?
Pretty dangerous. No, I know what a frisbee is, but I mean,
some dogs. You ever seen dogs get trained to like catch frisbees in the air? It's amazing.
Yeah, well, this dog actually doesn't catch frisbees. We tried to make him do it the other day. We did. We went to, you know, I was telling you, was it in VisualWood or was it in? I guess it was in something else we were talking about it. But I told you about places that I go with lots of ponds. There's a place we went just the other week where we went to walk him, and we found a frisbee while we were there. We were like, "Oh yeah, you can go catch it," and he just wasn't interested.
I feel like I've never. What exactly is what type of dog do you have?
Well, okay, I used to have a black Labrador, and then we had the very sad podcast a while ago. And but just before that happened, my younger brother had bought a black Labrador for himself. And now that black Labrador is living with us. So literally, I've traded one black Lab for another.
Is he huge?
Not really. He's bigger. I think he's bigger than the previous one. But yeah, he's a nice black Lab actually. He's young enough that we're sort of still training him as well. You know, he can jump up quite a lot, and a lot of people don't like that. So we're trying to keep him to be very low. Trying to teach him areas of the house that he can't go in. You know, just to sort of establish a bit of dominance or whatever, a line.
Yeah, you gotta tire him out, man. You gotta tire him out and then like train him to be calm. Oh man, that's the best way. Just go out there and make him run, and he's just so tired that he's gonna be calm the whole time. And that's when you teach him like, okay, sit and all that type of stuff. He won't be all excited and stuff. Oh my gosh, my dog was so excited. I had to do that to him. I had to. That's the best way to train the dog. So you don't have to worry about him being too hyper and thinking that you're gonna be playing with him and stuff. It gets so annoying. They're like little kids, and like also, I should probably mention about the dog thing. Like I don't believe like you feed them red meat and then like they get all vicious and stuff like that. I mean, maybe certain dogs might be the case, but the thing is, what happened with my dog was if you feed a dog chicken or you know like the food we eat, the good stuff, then they're not gonna want to eat the food that you get for them. which is
I
kind
don't
of
know
bad.
about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
cats,
sometimes
that's
happens.
True. Cats are picky as all hell eaters, but dogs will just bury
eat
their face in
anything.
whatever.
No, some dogs, like different dogs have different personalities. But like for my dog, he'd be like, I don't know if I want to eat that, and he'll eat some of it, and then he will watch us eat, and I'm like, nah, you ain't getting my food.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting my food. You got your food right over there. But I don't like, and I didn't like when he would eat some of it, because what would happen if your dog starts eating some of it, then he won't be, then his pee and poop schedules will be all messed up. You know, so he'll keep going back and eating, and drinking. No. We ain't having all that. I don't got time for all that.
Labs aren't really that greedy as far as I've ever had experience with, so it's sort of okay. You just sort of give them their food, and as long as it's that food that they see first. Like one thing that I don't know whether it's the thing to do, but it's always seems smart to me, is you feed your dog just before you sit down to eat dinner. So while it's eating its meal, you'll go and sit down yours, and then it's less interested in begging, and it will just, go do it, and it will learn its place kind of thing. But yeah, the previous dog I had never used to play play catch. He just couldn't do it. This dog is like hypnotized by the ball. Like when you've got that ball in your hand, he goes crazy. And like you can even hear it in that audio adventure. When he comes to bring it back, he drops it and then immediately picks it up again because he's so excited because it's like running and moving again. Yeah. And then you have to wait, and then you pick it up, and then you throw it, and then he drops it, and he grabs it, and eventually when he gets tired out, he just starts dropping it, and he's like, throw it again, and off he goes. But yeah,
jeez, that's awesome. I love when you're trying to teach a dog like the fetch thing, and they automatically get it because they want you to throw it again. Like it automatically clicks with them.
That's the reward.
That's the best time. Dude,
can you imagine just what a beautiful existence you would live if I mean, what is that? That's such a never-ending loop. It's like the joy of going to get it is to have it thrown again, and it's just as pure and simple as that. Like, that's crazy. That's so alien to me, and it would seem so stupid. But obviously, they're in their element while they're running and chasing stuff. So, more power to them. But yeah.
So, have you watched Lego Movie?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
What did you think?
Okay. I hated it. I thought it was a terrible movie.
Obviously.
No, it really was. It was a bad movie, and I don't know. Seemed like a waste of money, waste of talent. It sort of sucked to see. Was it Will Ferrell that was in it? I think it was Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
And he wasn't even in a funny role. What is that? What is that, man? I don't like it. If I watch a movie with Will Ferrell in it, I expect to see, him complaining about having a foamy latte and throwing it at people. So, no, okay, it was good. It was good.
Well, Will Ferrell was Lord Business. We had there was Elizabeth Banks in there. I haven't seen her in anything.
She sounded kind of hot.
Morgan Freeman, of course. Gotta have some of that. Those were Will Ferrell and Morgan Freeman was pretty much the big names. Jonah Hill was in there as well for Green Lantern. I thought that was just hilarious, dude.
Chris Pratt was in it.
Yeah. So some good names in there.
That's the guy from Parks and Rec, by the way, which I wouldn't have known without Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
But yeah, so basically, here's the movie, guys. The Lego Movie was a movie that was entirely about Lego pieces. It has a really distinctive art style. I really liked the... You were right. When you described this movie to me last week, you said that there's just so much going on visually with the film that it keeps you captivated. Yeah. And you're so correct, man. Like, every single shot of that film is busy as all hell. It does die away towards the end, but particularly the first third of the film is ram-packed with stuff going on. You could pause it at any moment and you'd see some weird thing that's been animated off in the distance. Really, really busy, clustered scenes, and it works very, very well.
Keeps the kids interested while the adults are enjoying all the very well-placed jokes.
I don't know. I can't. Nothing really comes to my mind. Like, some of it was pretty funny. I really did like some of it, but I can't think of anything particularly like adult that was in the film. It was mostly just
Well, the whole relationship thing. Kids don't really understand that. The whole relationship thing between like wild what was her name? Wild Style. Such a stupid
Wild Style.
name.
Yeah.
Wild Style and Batman and the whole relationship between them, and then the regular guy liking Wild Style and everything. They didn't really understand all that relationship stuff. And Batman was a total douchebag. Like he'll go off and like none of the kids are gonna understand that. That's
I think
all
they would to an extent.
Nah,
Come on.
I mean, this is for like young kids. Like how when you go into the Lego shop, dude, young kids are in there.
Well, look,
young.
there's a difference.
They went to go see this movie.
There's a difference between a kid's movie and a family film. And this is a family film. Like, I think no matter where you are in your life, you can watch the Lego movie and relate to it on some level, enjoy some element of it. Whether it's the really tongue-in-cheek... I guess one of the big things that adults would really get, I think that kids wouldn't, is all the references to loads of different stuff. Not just like Lego references. Like one of the characters in it is this... I used to have... So there's a guy in it that likes to build spaceships. And I don't even know what the hell that guy's name is, but I remember as a kid I had that particular Lego piece. And he was like... He's supposed to be in the film like one of the really old Lego pieces. I don't remember that thing. So like... There's a lot of cool stuff like that, and then there's references to all kinds of other things. So, like, Batman is in the film, Gandalf is in the film. A lot of big characters from various franchises you know and love are in this film, whether for small roles or even particularly big ones. So, yeah, it's like this big combination of a lot of things that make the movie just really enjoyable. This is one of those films you can just enjoy. Like, you really can. There's no point getting pretentious about it. There's no point looking for deeper meanings. It's just, hey, look, this is a cool kind of action film, and who cares if the story's been done before, if it's about, a guy who thinks he's, coming to terms with some great burden or whatever.
I went to this movie not knowing anything about the story. I didn't even know if they were going to be talking in the Lego movie. Didn't know nothing. I didn't know what I meant by that is like I didn't know what they were trying to do. Like, what was the Lego movie going to be? Mostly voiced? Is it going to be a different style? Like, I don't know. Like Wall-E, for instance. Like, you don't go into Wall-E knowing what Wall-E is going to be about. Like, most of the time, no one's talking. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just all just that. So, the same guy was involved with 21 Jump Street. What is this guy's name? Phil Lord. 21 Jump Street. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I still haven't watched the second movie of that. So he's got around. So this turned out very well. Like, basically, it's just this regular Joe guy, right, who stumbles upon this mysterious object that makes him the master builder, Mm-hmm. And he struggles to be the master builder. Like, he's like, I'm just a regular Joe. Like, he follows literally the book on life. He's a blank slate.
Yeah. There's actually a really good scene early on in the film where all the people he works with, he's seeing their opinions of him.
No, don't.
I'm not. That's what I was going to say. He sees their opinions of him.
Yeah.
And it's a really good scene.
It's so good. And I was instantly in love from the first scene because I knew what they were trying to do. They were making they were overly doing it, like, oh, I'm following the book, I'm a regular Joe, and he just goes in, and all of a sudden reality hits, and it was just like, oh, so good. And the good cop bad cop thing was, it was just so many Neeson, things start coming into the film every second, and you're like, oh my god. And then Wild Style shows up and she starts doing the master builder stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this movie is awesome. This movie is so good. It's because of the art style that it's tight. It's tight. What can I say? Go watch it. It's a movie you should watch, guys. Like, seriously, if any movie I could recommend, I would recommend watching this, because you can actually sit down with anybody, and watch this, with the kids or whatever. This is a good film.
It's a good film. It's not an amazing film. It's a good film.
Come on, it's a good film, dude. It's a good time. I wouldn't say it's like on my top 10 list or anything like that, but it's a good I enjoyed my time with it. I enjoyed
It's got
my
some
time.
really cool. Did you notice? Like, I'm gonna drag the conversation here, just in a little way. But did you notice how like like the idea of Lego is always, as a toy, has always had two sides to it, like two sort of conflicting sides, and that's people who just follow the rules and make what's on the box, and people who take things into their own hands. And so the Lego movie just fully embraces that fact about Lego, that everyone has. If you've ever played with Lego, that's one of the things you've thought of. That's one of the things you've toyed with. Do you want to just follow the book, or do you want to make your own thing? And like in a big way, that's like what the core of playing with Lego is. And the movie really embraces that idea and spreads it throughout its story, like in a really cool way. That's one of the things I liked most about the film, the way that it did that. And yeah, you know, some of it's just really, really visually impressive. And for most people, I think someone's going to find something in it. So yeah, it was a good film. I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah.
I got a film for I get to pick next week's.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. What is it?
So you have to do me a favor, okay? If you're going to watch this film, all right, you're not allowed to look at any reviews of it.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
before
fine
you
with
watch
me.
it. Not any reviews.
I don't really.
I hear on the podcast, I am going to give you like the thing you'd read on the back of the DVD, okay, to describe the film to you. And you're not allowed to look at any reviews. This could be a really highly rated film, really poorly rated film. We're just going to have to watch it, okay?
Okay.
And at the end, hopefully, don't watch any reviews either. And we'll come to discuss it next week, see what you thought, see what I thought. Because I've never seen this either, so this is going to be totally new. For everybody at home, you can check it out as well. The film is called I, Frankenstein. You ever heard of that film? Okay.
Yes, sounds familiar.
You have. Okay, sure. All right. Well, here's the movie info. Here's the back of the DVD box. Set in a dystopic present where vigilant gargoyles and ferocious demons rage in a battle for ultimate power, Victor Frankenstein's creation Adam finds himself caught in the middle as both sides race to discover the secret to his immortality. And
It's a new movie. It came out this year.
Yeah, it's very yeah. How did you know that? You're not looking it up, are you?
I usually just Google it at least,
Don't
and
Google
I'm seeing
it. No,
the
you're not allowed to
scores,
know.
and I'm like,
you're not,
oh
you've
my
ruined
god,
it. You've ruined it. No.
No, what do you mean?
Well,
What do
because
you
now
mean?
you've seen the
What,
score.
seeing a score? What do you mean? My reviews? I'm not gonna read
All right,
anything.
okay, all right. So the reason I picked this film is because the synopsis sounds alright, but critically it didn't do too well. So we're gonna watch it and see how it does.
Yeah, man. I've liked some terrible films before. So it's all about the enjoyment factor for me. See if it's good or not. Sometimes I want to turn my brain off and just listen.
Like the Lego movie.
Come on. They're
What?
making
No,
fun of
that's-
themselves, dude. They're making fun of them, so you can't
No,
really.
that's a good movie to turn your brain off. You don't have to look deeply into the Lego movie. That's
like
what's so good
he's
about it.
like the scene where he's falling down the tunnel, and he's like obviously not getting hurt, but then people can actually die. So it's a little bit weird. Yeah, stuff like that happens in a Lego movie, but who
I'm not
cares?
saying like plot holes. I don't care about that.
Yeah, you just gotta enjoy the movie.
I'm just saying you don't have to work to enjoy the Lego movie, you know? You don't have to be thinking
Chronicle.
about... It's not like a detective thing with a big twist at the end where you're trying to figure stuff out. And half the enjoyment is, that mental anguish you put yourself through. It's not like watching a horror where there's a lot of stress involved because you're constantly on the edge of your seat. It's a movie you can sit back and just enjoy at face value. And that's not a bad thing. It's just some movies.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Movie Club. And as an append to the Movie Club, I might be about to blow your mind, okay? Right?
Oh,
I'm ready. Scar in The Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that's and you know who's oh my god, Simba? Simba's the kid, right? What's this just recently?
Yeah, Simba's the kid and Mufasa's the dad.
And he gets with Nala, yeah? The girl?
Yeah.
Did you know Scar is Nala's dad?
What do you mean?
He's his dad. They're cousins?
In the movie?
Or whatever? Yeah, in the movie. Well, the story in general. And in the Broadway musical, that is like a thing in it as well. There's even a bit where Scar tries to take her as his queen. That was originally in the movie, was in the concept for the movie, cut out, but if you buy Lion King DVD, you can watch it. And
she never mentions it in Lion King.
Yeah, well, in the movie, they never mention it.
Yeah.
It's a deleted scene. But if you watch it as the actual musical, then those scenes are still in there. That's crazy, isn't it?
What?
Yeah.
That's a movie I've watched many times, and that never kind of came up. Like Nala, whoa! But Scar never mentions that either. He never says like, "Oh, you're with my daughter" or whatever. Like he never says anything.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested to watch it now with that new information and see if the animation kind of showed him looking at Nala a certain way.
Maybe that'd be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, the other thing you could do is get like a DVD of the musical version of it, the show version, which I'm kind of interested in, but I don't know. Do you know something else that I heard exists? Did you know there's a radio play of Star Wars?
No.
So, like, you can actually... There's a full version of the original Star Wars trilogy that has all this extra information the shows don't... The regular movies don't actually show. People talk about how before, like, the new trilogy came out or whatever, people knew that Darth Vader had been burnt in a volcano, and everyone's like, oh, I don't know, how did that happen? And apparently it's because of these radio shows. I had some guys on competing on another podcast talking about it the other day. I was like, oh my god. Like, I kind of want to listen to those, because I'm not a big Star Wars fan, and yet I feel like to get my nerd credit, I have to be a big Star Wars fan. Is that bad? Is that conforming? Should I not do that?
No. Do it. Do it. Yeah, like, there's so much geeky stuff I haven't been able to spend my time on. You know?
Is Star Wars one of those things?
Star Wars is definitely one of those things. Like, my friend literally has all the DVDs, all the Blu-rays, he rebuys them, all the books, like figurines, all that in his little, like, he has a bookshelf dedicated to it. And I'm like, he's like, man, you should totally read the books, man. They're really, really good. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dang,
What about Star Trek? I gotta say, one of the movies I almost picked for movie club was a Star Trek movie, but I didn't in the end.
I really would love to rewatch them. I have it downloaded. I have them all. I have like the remastered version of like the old one, and I would love to go back and watch New Generation. I watched it as a kid, but I don't remember all of that. I don't remember Lamar Burton and all that stuff. I was watching Read the Rainbow, but you know.
One of my only like pleasant memories of being forced to sit down and watch TV with my dad was when we were watching Star Trek. And I remember really enjoying it back then. Really enjoying it. And as an adult, I see clips of it, like the famous "There Are Four Lights" thing from like Picard, like, and it looks like it's actually an incredible show with really good dramatic moments sometimes, and I've just missed out on all of it. And then you like read on Wiki about what happened to all the characters and stuff. So yeah, Star Trek. Should we have a movie club and like a TV series club, or would that be a bit too much?
That might be a bit too much. We could. It doesn't have to be movie club. It could be just show club. Oh yeah.
What? And instead of watching a movie each week, we have to watch a whole series of TV.
No, like that would be a little bit. It'll be a little bit weird to do it.
Yeah,
like,
it would.
With the review and everything. That would be separate. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's oh man, there's so many shows where I just kind of want to dive in back, and that's definitely one of them. I have them already downloaded. I've been watching through Fresh Prince, like I've said before, and I'm thinking about checking out Family Matters.
Have you seen the episodes with his dad yet?
No. I'm on the third season, about to finish the third season. About to go on the fourth.
I thought that was a really
about
early
to go
one.
to college, man. This is when the relationship between Will and Carlton, like, you know, become a little bit more tighter. You know, they're not just like always bashing each other, and like for the first 3 seasons, like they're just bashing each other all the time and making fun of each other. And
has Carlton done his dance?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they, you know, start going together, and it's like, man, I never realized how dumb Hillary is. Like, she's seriously dumb.
Well, because when you're younger, you're dumb too. So it's
no, but no, dude, she's a lot older than anyone. She's
no,
like,
I mean you as a viewer when you're younger.
Oh, okay.
It's harder to pick up on her stupidity.
Yeah, dude, I don't
Give me
know
an
how
example.
she's surviving, and I'm pretty sure there's people like that out there. I don't know how she's surviving in the world. I really don't.
She's a fictional character.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but it also adds a little bit too much cartooniness, and I think they kind of pick up on that, and they kind of like make it into a more serious.
Didn't they do a thing where they changed the actress for the mum? Vivian?
Yeah,
Wasn't she
yeah, Vivian. They do change.
Is that really
her.
obvious?
Oh yeah, yeah. It really is obvious. She's the change is light skin, but I haven't got to that point, and I feel like I don't want to know when it happens. I just want to rip off that Band-Aid when I finally open up an episode and Vivian is just changed. It's like when they changed the husband for one of the sisters, Vivian's sisters, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, that's not the guy.
They did it twice in the show.
Huh?
Did they? They did it twice in the same show.
Well, no. Well, he's not a very important character, so they tend to do that a lot. But that guy went on to do some other big stuff, I think.
What happened to the original actress of Vivian? Why'd she leave?
I think there was a whole scandal thing going on.
Really? What was? Oh god, I gotta look this up.
Nah, yeah, she did a post on it. I didn't want to read it because it might ruin the show for me. So I want to finish it and then go back and read what she said about leaving the cast. Sometimes it's like...
Oh, yeah. She said it was like sexism or something, or someone like sexually harassed her in the workplace. Was this the same thing?
I don't know. It might be. It might be. And I think it has something to do with Will Smith too. And I just don't want to. Don't want to read it. I don't want to. Like Big Bang Theory... Oh my gosh, what did they do to that show? Anyways, I'm not gonna go into that. All right.
All right, I want to talk about video games this week, and I'm gonna get the jump on you. I'm not gonna let you ask me what games I've been playing. All right. But E3 was this week, right? I've got 3 games that I just want to float out there that I'm very excited about and surprised about. We can have a bit of a chat about. I'm wondering what you were excited by at E3.
Are they all Guild Wars 2 titles?
Yeah, it's Guild Wars, just regular Guild Wars. Guild Wars Factions. Now, this came out a while ago. I did play it a while ago, but this is... Because I've now got a monitor that has higher resolution capabilities, I'm just going to rebuy it. And basically, it's a HD remaster, right? It's a HD remake of that game. So I'm going to replay that.
Which press conference did you watch? Because I didn't see
that. The ArenaNet press conference.
Right.
They were there. You just didn't see it. And then the other one was Guild Wars Eye of the North, right?
Oh, did they fly you out? Did you fly you out and you actually said yes this time?
No, it was one of those like little live stream things. It was there were like 2 other guys on the call. It's fine though. It was good. It was a real good bit of the conference.
I do the podcast like I like my shows. I like to intertwine the story.
Okay, so seriously, what caught your eye at E3?
Okay, well, No Man's Sky, of course, but like I was sitting down there because I went over Super Bunny Hop's house. Man, I talked to my regular. Anyways, I went over Super Bunny house and we were all just chilling and watching E3, and we were watching No Man's Sky, and it's just like this is just too good. It's just too good to be true.
Too good.
It's too good.
I agree.
Like I feel like it's too much. Yeah, like it's gonna be like Sport, and when you play it, it's just gonna be this empty world with like empty stupid. It's gonna be like another Cube world. Do you
want to tell people what No Man's Sky is for those that might not know? Because it's sort of indie.
Yeah, it's the sort of indie that got picked up by Sony. Was it Sony or both?
Yeah, so it's coming out for PS3.
Yeah. So PS4.
Oh, yeah, my mistake. PS4.
Yeah, PS4. So No Man's Sky is this. It's like Minecraft, where it's this procedurally generated world where it's just the concept. I don't know if they've strayed away from this, but the concept is there is planets. There's this whole galaxy, right?
Imagine. Do you know how I describe it? Starbound in 3D with no loading screens between anything.
There you go. There you go. If you played Starbound, there it is. So you can literally, you get a spaceship and go to a planet, land on a planet, walk around, get materials. You know, there's gunplay, there's stuff like that. Get back in your spaceship, fly off, go to a different planet. Like it's just like that, seamlessly. Like in the new trailer, you see him on a planet. He walks around in a cave. He came out of a cave. Got into a spaceship, went out into space.
Wait, you missed the dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's creatures and stuff on the planet.
Come on, you can't brush it off. That's crazy.
Dude, but
like the trailer is this guy walking around in a beautifully realized world with massive
very
dinosaurs
vivid, yeah.
tearing down trees and stampedes and little insects on plants and stuff. It's all like crazy. It's like a CGI cutscene almost, right? And then
Beautiful
he
art style.
climbs in the spaceship, flies, and meanwhile in the sky there's been all these other spaceships flying around. Flies into the sky. No loading screens or anything. Flies higher, eventually reaches space, no loading screens or anything. The planet is long behind him. Ends up in like what? It's like a space shootout, isn't it? Is that what happens?
yeah. Like, there was this big.
It's like a galactic battle.
Spaceship thing that was going on. The asteroids all around, and then there was like enemy ships. I'm pretty
And
sure
the game is like totally
enemy NPCs and stuff like that, and he just goes with a couple friends and lands on another planet, or not lands, but drives into another planet. And it seems like the atmosphere is very small, so it once you reach that, I guess, like that threshold, then like the whole environment changes, and then you see like like it's a regular sky and everything like that. But the atmosphere to the ground is not very big to keep it kind of like, because that would be weird, like being able, unless you're flying extremely fast. But yeah, like
I know, I get what you mean. Like the transition's a very short period.
Yeah.
But like he goes to the second planet and it looks almost indistinguishable from the first planet he was on. And so that's the trailer. Then it cuts there, right? I think. But so the idea is it's this exploration game where you can travel around all these different worlds, and it's sent big ripples through the Oculus community. I can tell you that much. VR, a lot of people are interested in it. But I gotta say, man, it's like you said. Don't you just think this is going to be too good? Like well, not too good. It can never pull off its scope. Do you ever see the film Cloud Atlas?
Yeah, I did. Holy crap.
Yeah? Don't you think this is the Cloud Atlas of video games?
Holy crap. Yeah. But the thing is, it won't be as crazy as Cloud Atlas is. I don't think so. I think at least it might be so. It might be like Cloud Atlas, and then it might be one of those games that just kind of falls flat, where it's just there's not much to do.
Yeah, like, so the reason I say that is the Cloud Atlas trailer. I remember when that trailer first came out, everyone was super pumped about it. They're like, whoa, look at this great, amazing film set in all these different time scales and stuff. And the scope of the film looked massive. And then when the film came out, it disappointed. It had some good stuff, sure, but we're done with Movie Club. But, it disappointed a lot of people because its scope was too wide and it couldn't obviously focus with great attention on each individual element of it. Yeah. And this is going to be the same. That's why Spore failed too. I don't know. Maybe it is a lot more simple than the trailer puts out. But then I say to you, then the things people are getting excited about this game for, they're still going to be disappointed. Even if this game releases, right? What I'm saying is, even if this game releases and it's really refined and it's really solid at what it's set out to do, that being like exploring different worlds, even if it's really refined at that, just because it's that refined and it didn't hit the scope that the trailers made you think it had, means people are going to be upset. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I just think it's well, it would be stupid for me to say it's destined to fail, but I would caution people against excitement.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, I definitely there's so many factors that you need to put in, like because there's multiplayer in there, and once you find a planet, then everyone can find that planet. Like it's that type of world. I wonder how that's gonna go. Like the object is to find like the center of the universe because there's like some type of treasure there or something like that. Like it's this crazy idea, and I feel like it's so ambitious. The other thing is player customization. All that type of stuff. Like, how is your character going to look like? Is it going to be janky animations? Like, is your character going to be able to look cool and stuff like that? Like, I don't know. Like, is it always going to be in first person? And when other people look at you, it's just going to look really weird? Like, all these things can make or break a game for someone.
How would you feel if this was being made by a company you knew? Like, what if it was like BioWare are making this? Would it fill you with more confidence? I mean, BioWare may not be a good fit, obviously, but I'm saying a big studio with lots of money and power.
I used to have faith in BioWare, and then now.
Well, this is a great transition. No more No Man's Sky. I'll give you a game that I am actually excited about: the new Dragon Age.
Yeah, it looks like they're piecing a little bit of Dragon Age Origins and a little bit of Dragon Age 2 with the combat and everything but they're going back to the nice strategy overhead thing going on, and I definitely appreciate
the game looks phenomenal. I was watching
really
the
does.
Twitch live streams. They had a lot of the live streams had really stupid fake kind of interviews with devs that didn't really know their product or couldn't talk about stuff, and it was kind of lame. But when the Dragon Age one came on, the guys who were in the interview, none of them were pampered up, wearing loads of makeup and looking all pretty and stuff. They were nerds. They were middle-aged men and nerds, and they had the greatest conversation ever. It was the best interview. They were just chatting for ages about the new game, the way it works, and they were talking about the mechanics of the game, the philosophies behind the game, how it worked, and it was amazing. It put so much faith in me that this game is actually going to be good. It looks graphically astounding. BioWare, say what you will, and especially with the Dragon Age franchise, right? It's been a bit rocky, but at least BioWare have proved they know how to tell a good story, right? At last podcast, we were talking about one of the games to have impacted me most, at least, has been the Mass Effect series, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still, I think BioWare does still hold some weight, and the new game, it just looks phenomenal. The size of the world, they keep saying how it's even bigger than the first game, and this is coming from someone who's never even played anything in that franchise. I've seen a bit of it. One of my friends used to play the first Dragon Age, and we used to do all this stupid stuff in it. But at least for me, I think this could be a real entry for me into that series because it just looks so cool. Did you have any specific thoughts on it, or were you just meh?
No, I want it. I really want it. I'm just a little skeptical after, I don't know, Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age 2.
I feel like I should never play Mass Effect 3 because everyone's so...
No, it's... I see, listen, I dislike it for a different reason than a lot of people do. I just, it's just one of those things. It's not a bad game. I still say Dragon Age 2 is bad, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I like my story, and I like dungeons not looking the same every time I go inside of.
Well, everything
a cave.
about Dragon Age 2 seemed bad. I don't think that's really an edgy opinion, is it?
No, some people like it. Some people thought it was good, and I'm like, I don't know how you could think it was good. It ends so flat. The story ends so flat.
Isn't it more than just the whole story is flat?
It's just all right. I'm not gonna make you guys angry for those who enjoyed it. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not. Seriously, if you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. But I don't know how you could have. I don't know. Anyways, we can move on from the Dragon Age 2 talk.
But what was wrong with Dragon Age 2? I don't understand.
No, dude, there's a lot of cases. Like for instance, if you look at every dungeon layout, it's the exact same. They were so lazy with that game. It was so lazy.
But what else?
We're just gonna leave it.
All right, okay. Anything else caught your eye?
Huh?
E3. Any other games?
Batman did. Batman.
Oh, okay.
Did.
I did not see anything about Batman. Tell it to me.
Dude. I've played all the Batman games. Oh my gosh.
What's it called?
Oh my gosh. We all were about to zip down our pants when we were watching that. We were talking over the game. It was just oh my gosh. All right, so for the first scene, you see his armor getting put together. I mean, what is this, a cutscene for Batman? Who cares? Nope. The camera pans out, and it's not a cutscene. So I was like, wow, okay. And then he's on this top of this very tall building. I'm guessing I don't know, Wayne Towers or something. I don't know. And he looks out to the world, and the world looks so good. And there's a different art style to this. It's less cartoony, more realistic, gritty feeling to it. Very Nighttown. I don't know how to explain it. You have to see the trailer. And I wish I could find a 1080p trailer, direct feed trailer. I'm tired of this crappy live stream.
I found a good one. I'm watching it right now.
All right, and then we're like, please jump off. Please jump off the building. And he jumps off the building, and it looks so good. And I'm like, oh, yes. And then he puts out his cape, and he's flying around, and it's just yes, this is what I want. And then, as we're nerdgasm,
No.
As we're freaking out, he lands to the floor, and then he calls his Batmobile, and he just jumps right inside, and then he just blasts off, and I'm like, And then you see, like, the thing that excited me as well is that you see a police car chasing a criminal and stuff like that. I wonder if they're going to have other NPCs. Like, because usually in the Batman games, you just see a bunch of criminals all the time outside. Like, there's no real life feeling to the game, you know? It's basically, it's like more of a playground than it is like an actual, I don't know, an actual living, breathing city, you know?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure it won't happen, but I'm hoping that it's more than just criminals. And it seems like there's going to be police out here now because I've seen a couple police cars riding around. But it would be pretty cool because there's no point to really be on the ground floor in most of the Batman series because there's nothing there to really look at other than criminals walking the streets and patrolling somehow. Like, for some reason, they're everywhere, you know? And random conversation. I would like to see a robbery happening, and you just go down and help the robber. Not help the robber, or help the people getting robbed. You know, yeah. I would love to see stuff like that, kind of like in Watch Dogs, where you can see when a criminal is about to do something randomly, and you know, go help that person. Like that would be.
By the way,
really cool.
Did you go back to Watch Dogs?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I'm almost done with it. I think I might stream tonight, which is Friday.
Ooh, advertisement right there.
Right. A stream that already passed. Amazing.
Well, look, they can go back and watch it on Twitch. So I'm watching the trailer on mute. What do you know about the game that the trailer doesn't display to you? Why is it called Father to Son, for example?
I haven't looked up much about it of what story they're going for.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I don't know if it's a prequel, sequel, or anything like that. I didn't look too much into it because I kind of want. And sometimes I like to go into a game fresh.
Absolutely,
I would tend to go back and reread the comics and stuff like that, and see what they changed and stuff like that. I just there was a part that like really put us down when he changed his Batmobile into a tank and he started shooting things. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what are they going for here? And I'm a little worried, even though people said, like, I haven't rewatched the trailer. So someone said that in the voice acting, they said that there were bots. The tanks were bots, right? But still, like, he's in a tank blasting in the middle of the street. Like, seriously, like, that's not really Batman-ish. Batman doesn't kill people. Batman doesn't put people in danger. He always thinks of the people of Gotham.
There's a pretty interesting discussion. I can't believe I'm about to say this. There's a pretty interesting discussion going on in the YouTube comments on the trailer, where people are talking about how they're sort of getting sick of Arkham, how they want to go to Gotham City. What do you think about that? What do you know what the story is there? Like, this whole franchise has always been about Arkham City instead of Gotham, and people are like, this is the fourth now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fourth Batman game?
Yeah, it's fourth.
And the third was a little bit of a flop. Am I right about that too? It wasn't
Origins wasn't made by Rocksteady.
Oh,
so
okay.
it was a little bit, you know, it wasn't polished well. There was a lot of bugs with quests, like game-breaking bugs with quests and stuff like that. It was a little, the combat didn't feel as tight either.
Okay, sure.
So, you know, it wasn't a bad game. You know, I still beat it and played it, and I enjoyed it. You know.
This franchise is one of the first games I ever... Okay, not one of the first, but one of the games that sticks out in my mind most as something I bought on a Steam sale, fully wanting to play, but now that they're getting around to it, was the first Batman game. Well, recent, Batman Arkham Asylum. I bought that, and I remember it was so critically acclaimed, so well loved by people.
Yes.
And I really wanted to play it, and I just never got around to it.
Play it.
So and I've got the sequel as well. Like, I literally have both of them on Steam. And I've just never really gone back to them because I feel like, I don't know. It's so stupid. It's a stupid excuse. They sound like they're really, really solid games, and maybe I'd be a bit more excited about this new one coming out.
Yeah,
at the same time.
They're good games, man. They're really good games. It's definitely. I was totally surprised. When I was working back at GameStop, I took one of the games, and played it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is a really good game. I didn't look up any reviews. I just tossed it in, and I was just so amazed. So amazing.
Do you know what I love the thought of? I love the thought of the guys who did this, who actually made a solid friggin' game out of a movie IP. For other people to be like, hey, look, they actually did this really well. Look. And then, you like, imagine if we had a games development company that was renowned for making decent games out of movies. Because currently it's just like a cesspit, and everybody widely accepts that any game that comes from a film is just terrible. But then there's like this one angelic company that rises from the ashes, and everyone just pays them tons of money to ensure that whatever movie licensed game they put out is actually good. And
see, the thing is, it's for the movie games, they're very time sensitive and stuff.
Yeah,
like
right.
That,
yeah.
It's, you know, you can't give the polish that it deserves. And I heard that the only movie game, well, not the only, I'm pretty sure there's more out there, but the 007 movie games, the James Bond movie games were pretty okay.
Well, GoldenEye was good. I don't know about any of the others.
No, those were that wasn't a movie game. But
yeah, it was.
GoldenEye was a
GoldenEye?
movie game?
Yeah, GoldenEye is a James Bond film.
Well, back then, movie games were good. Like, I remember back then in Super Nintendo as well. Super Nintendo, some movie games were pretty good. Some of them were really terrible and broken, but some of them were really good.
Yeah. Well, James Bond, I think...
Aladdin, good game.
That's true. There were a lot of old Disney ones. I remember an old Tarzan game I used to play that was fantastic.
Oh,
as well as numerous old Toy Story games. Toy Story 2 for the PlayStation 1 was great, and Toy Story 1 for, I think for DOS it came out. Oh my god. I used to play a lot.
Man. I remember this old game where you're flying on a, what is it called? A magic carpet, and you're shooting these little balls.
That sounds like Aladdin.
No, I can't remember. Like, it's a PC game, and I remember it being...
Oh, wait, it's called Magic Carpet.
Is it?
Yeah, there's an old PC game called Magic Carpet. I promise you. And it was like, you'd build up like forts or whatever as you did it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, look. If you get a blast of nostalgia from seeing that image on that wiki page, you'll know that it's the game. Magic Carpet. It's from Bullfrog.
Oh my god, yes it is.
There it is. That's the nostalgia.
Oh my god, yes it is.
Right there, people. Replay that one.
Oh my gosh, yes it is. Oh, dude, I remember the box art. And you used to fight those little things in game too. Yes.
That was a hard game.
Yes, it was. A lot of kiting going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kiting going on.
It was like kiting the game.
Kiting the game. This Friday.
All right, so my next game. All right, and I don't know how excited I am about this. Right?
Okay.
But I don't know whether you've ever played this franchise. I was very curious to see that they are making a movie of Ratchet and Clank. Have you ever played Ratchet and Clank?
Nope.
Ever get into it?
Nope. It's weird that I haven't played it. I haven't played Sly Cooper either. Like, I've put that in the same genre, I guess.
I put Jack and Daxter, a very similar sort of game as well.
Yeah.
In some ways. Yeah, those games I used to love, especially the ones that released on the Well, wait, did they just start on the PlayStation 2? They're fantastic, and one of the greatest things about those games were the really cartoony characters and storylines that came with them. And it's funny because I watched this trailer. They're literally just turning this video game into a movie, and watching the trailer, it didn't feel like there was a weird disconnect at all. Like, number one, that's a really rare thing to happen in the first place, right? Making a movie out of a game. Who does that?
It seems to be, like, just right.
Yeah, like, everything about it. The fact that you could have a movie purely focusing on these characters is awesome. The humor that they use in those games felt exactly like that kind of humor you'd see in sort of one of these movies as well. A bit like Lego movie humor even. Like, it all seemed to fit, either the style of the cinematics and just the entire way that the film is going to be rendered. It all seemed so seamless. And at the same time as they announced that movie, they've actually announced that there's, I believe, rebooting the franchise as well. Well, at least the movie is a retelling of the first game, and then there's going to be a new game coming out at the same time. But like, that was crazy to me. What do you think of the idea of having a movie made? Like, what game would you have picked if you'd ever thought that would have happened?
By the way, I just made a couple people cringe. I didn't mean to say genre of Sly Cooper. I meant like a backlog for for PlayStation games that I haven't played. I put Sly Cooper in there, with with Ratchet and Clank. I know people
Oh,
are like,
right. Are they not very similar at all?
No, it's not the same genre. No, that's not what I meant. Well, it seems to work very well with the CGI trailers, not trailers, but cutscenes that you would get from Ratchet and Clank. It just seems to fit very well. Man, a video game that could be a movie. I mean, there's a lot of them out there.
Guild Wars 2?
I don't know if that would work.
Come on, Guild Wars... dude, if I could make any game into a movie, I'd make... Well, I wouldn't make Guild Wars 2 into a movie. But I'd make Guild Wars Nightfall into a movie.
I don't think you'll make your money back there.
Oh, snap! Look, if the movie stands on its own legs, it doesn't need a good game to have borrowed its IP from. It's all about the way you make the movie.
Right.
What's the worst game you can imagine to turn into a movie? Worst game to turn into a movie? I imagine something like Pac-Man, where they try and make a movie out of it, and it's just terrible. There's just no content there. It's just a horrible thing. Even Pac-Man you could make into a good movie. You play into the dynamic between Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man. And the day that Pac-Man came home early to find his wife gobbling on some fruits. Some cherries. Some bananas. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
Pac-Man hires some ghosts
this
to do
Friday,
her in.
Follow Pac-Man as he eats fruit.
This summer.
Maybe Pac-Man could be on his journey of losing weight, and he just
but
eats
all he does
fruits.
is eat.
All he does is eat fruit instead of
and he's not losing weight for some reason.
And he used to eat like fast food. So you hear that wah 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 wah, and you'll see him like eat fast food and stuff like that, and that's what he used to eat. But now he eats like fruits and stuff. And
what if you made it a horror?
Ooh.
I mean, isn't
ghost.
one of the core components? Yeah, one of the core components of Pac-Man are the ghosts, right? This summer, Pac-Man is haunted.
I can imagine. I can
Turning
imagine
a
a
corner.
low budget movie of like people just running around with sheets with two holes cut in and putting over their head. Just imagine a
Dude,
low
people
budget.
have done that. I'm sure you can find real Pac-Man in real life on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
Pac-Man in real... Yeah, Smosh did it. There you go.
I guess God of War might fit into that, but like it'll just be about attacking and stuff. Like I'm looking for
Plus,
something
it's
a
not
little bit more
exclusive,
complicated. You know?
Well, here's one that I remember I was very excited about. We talked about it last week, Halo, the franchise. There was going to be a movie for that at one point, and I was really excited about that movie.
District 9.
There were even what's it called? Like live action segments that were made for a supposed Halo 3 movie that you could see, and they had all these phantoms and spaceships and stuff that had been rendered out into it looked amazing, dude. And of course they did do a live action production before Halo 4, and we'll do another for Halo 5. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, did you enjoy that series? I think it was fun.
I did.
It was with Machinima, right? Yeah, Machinima.
Right, yeah, it was. I did. I never watched it as it was coming out. I watched it later. I believe if you bought the collector's edition of Halo 4, it came with that. I believe. So I watched it later when I didn't have to wait between episodes. I did like it. You know, I thought some of it was kind of rubbish, but for what it is, you got to take what you can get with stuff like that, and it really was. It was a nice surprise. There were certain scenes like when the hunters came in. Basically, whenever there was an actual covenant or something cool. You know, that was really awesome to see. Just the sheer height of some of the enemies you fight in the game, like how tall an elite is compared to just a puny marine, or even a young marine at that. Like, that's what I didn't like about the show, because it was like all kids and stuff. And it was,
that's
why I didn't like so much.
Real gritty.
Yeah, I did. I really wanted a real kind of grown-up war kind of thing. But still, you know, it was good, and I'm happy. I'm happy that they're doing another one now with Halo 5, and I'll probably tune in. I don't know whether that's with Machinima or not though. So. All right, you got one more game? I got one more game I want to talk about. You got anything else that really caught your eye?
I was sad that Mirror's Edge 2 was barely talked about. They just showed like some alpha footage of
it looked no different
her
to
doing
Mirror's
the
Edge.
same thing that she always did, and it's just like, oh, why even show this? This is
I think that
stupid.
game's gonna fail.
Man, I really hope they fix a lot of problems in the first one. Like, I enjoyed Mirror's Edge so much. That was one of those games where some people hated, but I loved. I love that game.
There's a huge following for Mirror's Edge 2. There always has been. People have desperately wanted it. But I sort of think what Mirror's Edge is very narrow. Very narrow. And, like, to make a sequel, they can't deviate from it too much. Otherwise, people will be like, well, this isn't Mirror's Edge anymore, and they get annoyed. But it's going to get stale. I don't know. I feel like, you know, and that's all I saw with the trailers myself. I was like, oh, it looks like Mirror's Edge 1.
I think with good... I think... If the designers know there's because the project wasn't funded that much, I'm pretty sure it was, you know, it wasn't one of those projects where it's like, okay, you could spend a long time on this new idea, this new IP, and blah 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 blah. No, I'm pretty sure there, you know, it was limited funds there. So I'm hoping that they bring in all the ideas to the table. Like, there's some really cool parkour stuff you can do. Really cool. Sliding it through vents and a lot of high energy moments that you can bring to the franchise, man. Like, seriously, there was some really good moments in there, but you know, they have to make it accessible for people who don't care to try to do all this crazy parkour stuff. And you know, I'm hoping that they stay true to the Mirror's Edge franchise and the way it was with making it still pretty cool. But yeah, it seems in the dev diary that you know, they was like, okay, you know, we're making combat a little bit better this time around. It's not very basic and blah blah blah. So you know, it could be really good. It could be really good. I think I heard that they're not going to be using guns anymore. Like, she's not going to use guns at all, which is weird. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, which I know you guys will. But yeah.
Oh, they will.
What is yours? What is?
All right, my last game.
By the way, I didn't see Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm disappointed. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. What didn't show up that you wanted to show up?
Yeah.
But what caught my eye as well, I was happy to see this because maybe I bought into negative hype, maybe I bought into rumors and hearsay, but I was a little bit worried about the existence of a sequel for Tomb Raider. I genuinely, from the rumors that I'd seen posted around from Square Enix's disappointment at its sales or whatever, even though it was actually a roaring success, people made it sound like there wasn't going to be a sequel to Tomb Raider 2013. And it kind of worried me, you know?
Really?
And so it was and it really was a very nice surprise this E3 to see. There it is, and it's in its glory, the actual sequel. Because the first game set up for a sequel so well. And this is just like the relief.
Absolutely. There's no way you would do it justice with just that one game. There's no way. I mean, yes, it was a good game. That didn't do Tomb Raider, the franchise, justice.
That was just an origin story.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a new take on the way Tomb Raider should work. I really enjoyed the way that they did things on that game. And they talked about now with the new one, one core thing that used to be in many old Tomb Raider games was the idea of globe trotting, you know, Indiana Jones style, big adventure. We're going all around the world, blah, 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 blah. There was none of that, obviously, in Tomb Raider 2013. The origin story, it was all set on one island off the coast of Japan. And so for the sequel, they did specifically mention this is set in many locations around the world, so that globe-trotting feel's coming back. And, you know, the sequel is now an opportunity for them to cherry-pick some other great things from the franchise that had to be left out of the origin story and can now be brought into the fold. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's good to see those, like, fears put to rest.
You're a big Tomb Raider guy, right? I've seen you Let's Play it on your channel as well.
Yeah, I grew up with those Tomb Raiders, man. I really, really have a lot of nostalgia and love for all the Tomb Raiders. The only ones that I've never really cared much for are... There were two that came out towards the end of the PlayStation 1's life. Chronicles, I never really played or cared for. And Angel of Darkness, I never really played or cared for. And neither of them were particularly highly rated as games either, anyway. But all the others, every other Tomb Raider game that's ever played, I've played and I've loved. So, you know, I'm fanboying over it, but I can't wait. It's going to be great. Tomb Raider sequel. So, yeah, that's E3. You wanna move on?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Did we break a record here? 1 hour, almost 8 minutes? Guild Wars 2 election.
Also, you know, some cool Nintendo stuff, I would say. Nintendo for Skyland has Skylanders now. Basically, but not just for one game, but for all games that support it.
Yeah, so what's the story there, actually? Because I missed all of that, but I've heard people talking about it.
They're going to have these toys from, you know, different characters in the Nintendo franchise, and I think even other franchises, franchises, and you're gonna be able to put it on your Wii pad.
Okay.
And it's going to be able to unlock
like
features in game. And they were giving examples of being able to choose the character that you put on the Wii pad that you have the statue of and play it in game. So that's interesting. I don't know if it's going to make me become a collector of these statues, or make me buy it. That? But
what do you think of the fact that over the past 10 years, a lot of media consumption, not just to video games, but a lot of it's become digital. Owning physical copies of anything has gone way down. And so, you know, what kids in the 80s experienced with huge closets and cupboards full of toys, that's dying off a little bit more for current generations. What do you think of the fact that they are now trying to, at least Nintendo's trying to like shift it back towards that? As an adult, do you care for the clutter?
I definitely do like statues. I definitely do like having physical copies of games. I went out and got my Guild Wars 2 box, my collector's edition.
Yeah, see, I see that Ritlock statue as clutter. I really couldn't care less about it.
I don't have much space for a lot of things. I don't go out of my way for statues. Even though I would like to collect them, but it's not something I dislike, and it's not something I'm super hyped for either. But yeah, I kind of do like, for certain things, I do like having a digital library of it. For other
How
things,
big are Nintendo's toys going to be for their version of Skylanders?
I think they're going to be like a little bit smaller than your hand, probably. Unless your hand is small.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It just sounds horrible to me. It really does.
I don't know if I'll be collecting any of those things. I mean, I don't have a Wii yet. I was thinking about getting one because I would like to play stuff with my wife. That's like easy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit easier. Well, they have really good party, not necessarily easier, but really good, easy to get into party games that everyone can play. And if I have people over, they can easily play that.
I guess what I'm wondering is how far into like the core gaming audience is this toy thing going to seep? Like, is this just random casual stuff for the Wii that I can ignore?
Well,
not that I even have a Wii U, but would it be the kind of stuff I could ignore, or is this like, oh, you can only unlock Pac-Man for the new Super Smash Bros. Brawl if you have the Pac-Man toy and you scan it in?
Absolutely.
Is that really the kind of thing they're doing?
Yeah.
So for core games, they're telling you need to buy the disc, and content isn't just DLC gated anymore. You need toys.
They might do it. It depends. I think it depends on the developer, but I don't know if they're gonna pull that off with the Smash Brothers things. They could, and people will buy it just to unlock it. I don't know if.
I don't doubt people will buy it.
Like, you'll be able to play your Mii character and stuff like that in Smash Brothers. Like, they have it connected to it already. If you have like the statue for it. So like I don't know. I
doubt developers know either. Like, it's weird, isn't it? Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe it will just die away unless there's serious plans.
Well, I mean, Skylanders, Disney, Infinity, they're making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money.
That's like one unified game, though, right? One franchise, one company with the capability of producing games and toys at the same time. Like, it's all self-contained. Like, if the Wii's trying to do it as like a generic thing for their system across multiple platform games, like, I don't know. Do you know what? Do you know what we talk about in the podcast? People talking about stuff they don't understand.
Is probably.
I think we're doing that right now.
Probably.
Someone out there is like, God damn it!
It's like
They
that would be
announced all of this.
That'd be me trying to talk about Archage. Like, man, Archage, man, combat stupid.
I saw that sword coming when he attacked me in Arcade. It's easy.
Yep, easy. Mm-hmm. Man, Archage, man, ships. Everybody does that. They took that from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Oh my gosh, so ignorant. Makes me wanna cut something.
Wow.
When I see stuff like
relax. Relax, man. Listen to my audio adventure of the birds in the trees on a summer's day. It'll calm you down, alright?
Alright, thank you.
Don't need to cut anything. Alright, moving on to Guild Wars 2 Election. Bunch of quick bongs for this week because it's sort of like news roundup, yeah? Woody's roundup? Are you ready for this?
I am so ready.
Bong! Tournament of Legends 2 has been announced. So if you are interested in getting back into PvP, absolutely check it out. You can sign up. 128 teams across both North America and Europe are able to compete. If you just win one round, you will be compensated with, at the very least, a miniature llama, mini llama being added to the game. Going further up the list can get you as much as an entire legendary for yourself. Pretty awesome. Tournament of Legends 2. Bong, the toxic stuff, I almost swore there because I have it typed out in the show notes. The toxic stuff, or other word beginning with S, is back on the gem store. So, if you missed out on the toxic shoulders, the toxic gauntlets, if you've been like, oh, I've almost got my light armor collection complete in the wardrobe, and you've got that one empty hole, now you can fill that hole, ladies. So there we go. They're back. And so are the toxic dyes too, among a few other things. Bong, the World vs. World tournament rewards. You remember we talked about this, how they sort of got a little bit botched?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are finally going into the game on the 17th of July. That would be next Tuesday, just a couple of days after this podcast goes out. Those tickets that they sent you, you'll be able to redeem those finally. At that point, you'll be able to get the Mistforged weapons. Look really cool as long as you were on a good server. Or you were a scrub like me and you transferred from a bad server and bandwagon to the very best server, and then the very best server let you down. And I shouldn't say that.
I like how you didn't transfer to Tarnished Coast.
I was against you that whole time. You realise, like, most of that time, we could have been against one another. Well, VG was against TC like nearly the whole time. Yeah. But I told you, oh, move to my server. But you. Well, the only reason I moved was because someone helped me pay for it, specifically because he wanted me on Blackgate. That's the only reason I moved.
And if I pay for you to come over to TC, would you do it?
Yeah, I would have done it if you'd paid for me to go to TC.
But it's too late now.
If you pay me to go to TC right now, I will go to TC.
You serious?
Promise you.
Okay.
I mean, what's the point, frankly? But if you want to spend that money, I will transfer to TC. I really. The sad thing is, as well, I transferred to BG so that I could play World vs. World, and then was locked out of World vs. World for 2 weeks anyway. So I ended up just playing in Edge of the Mists, and I scratched that itch I had of World vs. World in Edge of the Mists. And then when my timer was finally up, I was like, okay, this is kind of a cool experience to check out some Tier 1 gameplay. But I've not really embraced it fully, and it's almost like a waste of money, sort of. But yeah. Because it's all mega servers. To anyone who's like, oh, well, at least you get to play with your friends. It's mega servers, and I'm mostly in PvE, so it really is sort of irrelevant to me with the feature patch coming out. Anyway, moving on. Did you see that they added something new to the gem store? This bobblehead thing.
Yes.
Someone actually bought this for me. It was really awesome of them. I couldn't really thank them for it. So hopefully if they listen to this, thank you very much for sending this to me. Basically, it's this thing you can double click, and when you interact with it, do you remember on April 1st, it gave you, everyone just had bobbleheads for the day? Yeah. It means you can get that whenever you like now. Absolutely whenever you like. You just interact with it and it gives you a bobblehead. You can choose whether you want to have it for a little while or like a long while. And it's a permanent item that goes in your inventory and will never ever run out. So once you've got it, you can do it forevermore. It's really awesome, actually. You can use it to see all kinds of different enemies. Like you can go fight Zaitan and see what he looks like with a bobblehead and stuff. Like really, really cool. The next bong, moving on very quickly. The next bong is about custom arenas. Do you remember when they released custom arenas that everyone like raged? Yeah, I remember that. So people were like, oh, PvP is a dying game type. Why would they release custom arenas and allow you to buy them for gems? That's ridiculous. And maybe they had a point. People were like, oh, it's ArenaNet trying to money grab. I really don't think it was like that. But now you can buy custom arenas with just gold. I mean, technically, you could always buy it with gold. You just go gold into gems. Right. So really what this news is custom arenas are now cheaper, basically. But yeah, so you can actually buy them. They've added a new vendor to the Heart of the Mists, and anyone can have their own custom arena. I think it's like, it's expensive still. It's just cheaper than it was before. It's like 200 gold, I think. Would you spend 200 gold for a custom arena?
No.
No?
No. I wouldn't.
Let's face it. Even if it costs you 10 gold, would you buy a custom arena?
No.
Because
I probably would actually. I probably would.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's not 10 gold though.
The last bong is that they also added a new vendor to the guys who sell Black Lion vendor weapons. And if you remember in the most recent update to Black Lion chests, they added this new stuff to the game called Boost Enchantment Powder. And it turns your boosters into other boosters. I talked about it last podcast. Where you can now just buy those straight up for 10 silver each, which is actually really cheap. So all the crappy boosters you get from the game now, you can convert into all the useful ones. And it sort of means... Really, I think Black Lion chests are a bit more fun to open now, just in general, all the time, because you know you're not going to get something really rubbish. But yeah, so that's pretty much all of the bongs.
Anyways, guys, we're having big connection issues. Thank you so much for watching VisualWood, and we'll see you next week with more questions.
Your connection has dropped. Your connection has dropped.
And stay
Gridlock has no pants.
visual.
Your connection has dropped. Gridlock has no pants.
Get ready.